Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 4 on theory of probability. In this lecture we are going to introduce this definition of conditional probability, and we will also discuss multiplication rule of probability or product rule of probability. So first we understand what is the definition or meaning of conditional probability with the help of one example. Suppose I have some box in which I am having these 5 red circles and 5 blue circles. That means I am having total 10 elements in this box which are circles. Now I consider event A as I am drawing one circle, and I am considering event A as drawn circle is red. That is, red circle is drawn. This I consider as event A. And first I am considering one circle out of these 10 circles. So that circle can be red circle or blue circle, and we consider event A as that drawn circle is red. Now, because there are total 10 circles in this box, if we select one circle randomly, then that can be selected in 10 ways. That means total number of elements in the sample space for this experiment of drawing a circle out of these 10 is 10. So for this experiment, that drawing a circle out of 10 circles, number of elements in the sample space will be equal to 10, and probability of A will be equal to, in the denominator we write number of elements in the sample space, and here we will write number of elements for event A. Now because there are 5 red circles and we are considering only one red circle is drawn, so that red circle can be drawn in 5C1, that is 5 ways. There are 5 possibilities for red circle. So here probability of A is 5 by 10 by the definition of classical definition of probability. Now whatever circle we are selecting in the first experiment, which was drawing one circle out of these 10 circles. So if after selecting that circle, if we replace it back, or if we put it back in the box again, then the number of elements in the sample space will remain same. And suppose we are considering another event in which we are considering another red circle, then here also probability of B will be 5 by 10. We are performing two experiments. First experiment is we are selecting one circle out of these 10 circles, and we define event A as whatever circle we have selected, that is red circle. So probability of A will be 5 by 10. Now after performing this activity or experiment, we put back that selected circle in the box again. Therefore the number of circles will remain as it is in the box. Now again we are doing a random experiment. We are selecting another circle, or we are selecting one circle out of these 10 circles, and we define event B as red circle is drawn. So for event B also there are 5 red circles and total elements are 10. So probability of B is 5 by 10. Now suppose after performing event A, that is after selecting one circle out of 10 circles, suppose we are not putting it back into the box. If whatever circle we are drawing from these 10 circles, and after a first experiment whatever circle we are selecting, that can be red or blue circle, and we are not putting it back into the box, then number of circles in the box will remain 9. Now suppose we consider the event B as whatever circle we are selecting in the second time, that is also red, that is second circle drawn is also red. Then here sample space for event B will have now total number of elements equal to 9, because whatever circle we have selected in the first experiment, we have not put that circle back into the box. Therefore, the sample space for event B is reduced to 9 elements. So total number of elements are 9. Now here also we are interested in the red circle. So for first event, suppose red circle is drawn, then number of red circles will also be decreasing by 1. There were 5 red circle for first random experiment. Now if red circle is drawn and if it is not put back into the box, then red circles will decrease by 1, and we will have 4 choice of red circles for this event B. So here we can say that this event B is affected by the occurrence of event A, because number of elements for event B are reduced by 1. So we can say that this event B depends on event A. In other words, occurrence of event B is affected by the occurrence of event A. Therefore, this probability of event B is known as conditional probability of event B, and it is affected by the occurrence of event A. And for this type of probabilities, instead of writing probability of B, we will use this notation: probability of event B given that its occurrence is affected by event A, and we will read this as probability of B given A. This means event B is dependent on event A, or event B is affected by the occurrence of event A. Here we can see that total number of outcomes for event B are reduced to 9, which were 10 for event A. But because we have not put selected circle back into the box, the outcomes are reduced to 9, and similarly for red circles also outcomes are reduced from 5 to 4. Therefore, this type of probabilities are known as conditional probability, and this type of events are known as dependent events. Here A and B are dependent because occurrence of event B depends on the occurrence of event A. So we have definition of conditional probability. Suppose event A has occurred first, and if event B is affected by the occurrence of event A, then conditional probability is denoted by this notation, and it is defined as probability of A and B, that is A intersection B, divided by probability of A. Here we assume that event A has occurred, therefore its probability is non-zero. This is the definition of conditional probability which we will use. Similarly, suppose event B has occurred first and event A depends on event B, then this will be, here we will write probability of B which has occurred first, and this remains probability of intersection of A and B, and here we require that probability of B is non-zero. So they can ask you to write down the definition of conditional probability. You can write systematically. Suppose we want to write down definition of conditional probability, then we can write that conditional probability of event A given that Suppose event A is affected by event B, given that event B has occurred is denoted by probability of A given B and is defined in this way, and is defined as this formula for conditional probability. It is easy to remember. Probability of A given B equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Similarly, this is conditional probability of B given A. This can be defined. So whenever we have dependent events, in that case we will have conditional probability. For example, suppose I have here we can rewrite this in this way also. Probability of A intersection B can be written as probability of A times conditional probability of B given A. Here we require that probability of A is not equal to 0. So you can see from this expression we obtain the formula for the probability of A and B, that is probability of event A occurs and event B occurs, and this is very famous formula. It is known as multiplication rule of probability. We have seen addition rule of probability in earlier lectures, and that was for probability of union of two events. And if we want to find out probability of intersection of two events, then we will have this multiplication rule of probability, where we use that B given A, probability of B given A is the conditional probability of B given that A has occurred. We can write this multiplication rule from this also. Here what we will obtain, probability of A intersection B can be written as probability of B times probability of A given B if probability of B is not equal to 0. So this is multiplication rule of probability, and that also you have to remember. They can ask you to write down the multiplication rule of probability also, and we will call it general multiplication rule of probability. So if A and B are events in a sample space S, then probability of intersection of A and B is given by P of A times conditional probability of B given A if this P of A is non-zero. Similarly, we can write this if P of B is non-zero. Now suppose events A and B are independent, then there is no dependence of event B on A. So in this case we will have P of B given A equal to P of B. And similarly, if A and B are independent, that means event A is no more dependent on event B. So in that case we will have this is going to be probability of A, this is going to be probability of B. So if events are independent, then multiplication rule of probability will be P of A intersection B equal to P of A times P of B. So we will remember this also. Whenever events are independent, probability of A and B equal to multiplication of probabilities of A and B. So I have written that also. Product rule of probability for independent events. Two events A and B are independent if and only if probability of A intersection B equal to product of their probabilities. This we can consider as definition of independent events also. They can ask you to write down definition of independent events. So we will remember that if probability of A intersection B equal to probability of A times probability of B, then events A and B are independent. Another definition of independent events is that two events A and B are independent if the occurrence of one event is not affected by the occurrence of another event. So whenever we want to find out probability of intersection of two events, we have now multiplication rule of probability. Suppose I am writing probability of A here, then here I will write probability of B given A, and this I can apply if probability of A is non-zero. And suppose I am writing probability of B here, then in the product I will write probability of A given B, that is conditional probability, and here we require probability of B is non-zero. And from this we can write definition of conditional probability also. If we use this first equation, then conditional probability of B given A is probability of A and B divided by probability of A. And if we use this, then conditional probability of A given B is given by, here we write probability of B and here probability of A intersection B. So how we will remember this? That if we have P of B given A, then event A has occurred first, so we will write probability of A in the denominator, and here we will always write probability of A and B or probability of their intersection. Here you can see I have P of A given B, that means event B has occurred first, therefore I will divide by probability of event B.